Give your name and address, please.
My name is Joan Kesel and I reside at 8406 Brewerton Road. I have a question for Heather, not about planning. Would this be subject to a mandatory referendum like the consolidation of police?
It depends on what you do. The term coordinated assessment and the terms consolidated assessment are two different things. I believe consolidated assessment would require a referendum. I believe coordinated assessment, which is just sharing an assessor, does not require a referendum, but I'd have to double check.
Like many small...
Actually it's not. It's not. They are two different things according to ORBS. They are two different things.
There's probably a description to it because there's many small municipalities that share assessors. We had an assessor here that was shared somewhere else. Pat Duffy worked here and worked somewhere else at the same time. And that's probably part of the reason we got in the mess that we're in, because he wasn't concentrating totally on Cicero.
Mr. Pittman also worked part-time in a small place to the east of here.
One other thing, Tim's question about the PUDs. I think the best way to describe that would be from the code book, which means it's a development with multiple uses. It can be commercial, residential, everything within this one project. That's really what a PUD is about. And one that you can think in terms of would be Northern Pines Golf Course. When Lou Masenti, he had the golf course, and then it was a PUD, and he wanted to do apartments, condos. Remember, Vern? He wanted to do them towards the back, towards Island Road. That was a PUD, a multiple use of zoning classifications. That's really what a PUD is. And it does have to go back and be amended every time you change what that makeup is of that PUD.
Right, it comes back to the town board.
It comes back.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that's an easier way for people to understand what a PUD is. Multiple use of zoning classifications. Okay?
Anyone else would like to address the board? Have your name and address, please.
Lynn Jennings. I just want one comment on the assessor. You know, we pay taxes in the town of Cicero, and I think the residents of the town of Cicero deserve to have their tax dollar go to an individual that's somebody that we can go to and talk with. We do it with Tracy, we do it with members of the board, we can do it with our department heads. We need to have somebody that we can turn to, not to go to somebody in Salina, somebody come from Salina to Cicero. We need to have what we're paying our tax dollars for, and that's an assessor. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? Heather.
Nothing else this evening. Thank you. Nothing.
Vern. Joe.
You know what Lynn said about customer service to the taxpayers here is exactly what Mr. Winters, who was the chairman of that assessment committee that worked all summer for a recommendation. And his #1 goal was public service. So that when people came to ask a question, they didn't have to come back, they didn't have to go see somebody else. They could feel confident that they had talked to the person who was going to make the decision. If we have a part-time person here, people that come in the door are going to have to come back because they're not going to feel that they have had the ultimate statement of what's going to happen. If the clerk in there says, well, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or you have to do this, or too bad, we're not going to change what you think should be changed, they're going to have to come back because they're not going to feel that that's the final answer. They're going to look for the person who will give the definitive answer, which would be the assessor. So they're going to come back. Or they're going to go to Salina. And we don't have good customer service then. We need to build confidence in that office again. And not giving good service to the people who come into that office is not a good idea until we get it straightened out. When we have rebuilt confidence in that office, then it would be easy transition, but it's not smart right now.
Jim?
I just want to thank Jody and her staff for the Christmas tree lighting. It went off very well. It was a little cold, but
Glad you could
everybody.
make
What's that?
Glad you could make
Yeah, I
it.
was running a few minutes late. I'm glad you held everything up. But it was a lot of fun, and the kids enjoyed it. So thank you.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you very much.
Tracy? Being no further business, meeting adjourned.